Friday morning. I hope you're having a wonderful start to your day. Unofficial start of the weekend, few hours. We are in Genesis 43, and I have to ask you, are you in some type of struggle, or an old word that would describe a very painful challenge? It's like a sorest conflict, or a severe test, or to the brink of desperation, starving. But we know in Canaan, Jacob and his family, his 10 sons and, 11 sons, and his wives, and there was a famine in the land, right? And in Genesis 43, there are so many S words. It talks about how in verse 1, the famine was sore or severe. It was intense. Are you in a situation where you're like, God, you have to move. My strength is spent. I don't have any more left. I've been there before. And God is faithful in those situations. Yes, he is. But let's go through just a couple points in this chapter. In verse 10, one of the brothers was like, okay, you know what? Let's just go back, because Jacob was like, I cannot bear to lose my youngest son, my beloved, the one that I had with Rachel, Benjamin, because, Joseph, wanted to see his little brother. And he was like, if you all don't come back with the little brother, then no, you all might as well starve to death. You're going to deal with the consequences. Then Jacob just acquiesced. He's like, you know what? I'm in bereavement. But finally, he got to the point in later on in the verses where he said, fine. I think it's verse 14. He said, God Almighty give you mercy before the man, that he may send away your other brother, Benjamin. If I be bereaved of my children, I am bereaved. Just like Esther had to say, if I perish, I perish. I'm going to the king. We got to get to the point where we're doing God's will, whatever might come our way, right? That means total surrender. We surrender that situation. We give up that situation. We give up our will, and we just place it on the altar and say, God, not my will, but your will be done. Yeah. As hard as it might be, as painful as it might be, you might have to give up that daughter. You might have to give up that circumstance, that job, that son, that spouse, whatever. Put them on the altar and say, God, your will be done. I have done absolutely all I could do at this point. And it's on you. It's you, Lord. Your will be done. So in verse 11, they gave the gift, and they took twice as much money this time, to Egypt to bless Joseph and the people there. They didn't know that Joseph was the one who actually blessed them, but they just said, what do we have to lose? Because we're in a situation where we're about to, starve. So we're going to, pull all stops. And in verse 23, Joseph's response, oh my goodness, because they were, saying, we don't know how this money came up in our sacks. We don't know, blah, 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 blah. We don't want to, be sent to jail. But Joseph reassured him. He said, it's all right. Don't be afraid. Your God, the God of your father, must have given you treasure in your sack. My version says, peace be to you. Fear not. Your God and the God of your father have given you treasure. The Lord is going to bless you in a situation as you put everything on the altar. Do not be afraid. Do not fear. Do not let the enemy speak in your ear. Go forth in triumph. Press the battle on, no matter how sore the situation look. Oh, just bask in his presence, and he's going to open doors, and he's going to reveal his way in your life. I hope you have a wonderful day in the Lord in the beginning of this weekend. And remember that God is the holder of all treasures, gifts, and blessings. Enjoy.